guys, Solar here, back again with another edition of Flashback Fridays, and what I have for you today is the Mattel DC Universe Classics Wave 10 Powergirl. She is, of course, from the Imperiex Collect and Connect wave, and is the next figure in the wave we'll be taking a look at on the channel, because if I'm being quite honest, it's been quite the sausage fest here at Flashback Fridays. So, figured I would change things up and throw a lady into the mix. That, and I was originally planning to do Robot Man, since we did Beast Boy last week, and they're both members of Doom Patrol and yada yada yada, but I don't know a whole lot about Robot Man. I know a little bit more about Powergirl here. She is a Superman / Supergirl related character. She's at the very least a Kryptonian, and yeah, that's kind of where my knowledge ends. But she is a fan favorite. I know a few friends of mine are quite fond of her, so that is why we're taking a look at her first. Robot Man will most likely be next week. So, getting into the meat and taters of this review, since she does not come with any accessories to speak of, other than those chesticles there. Holy crap. They actually, funny story, I was watching Scott Knightlick's channel. Is it Spectre Creative? I can't remember offhand, but he was talking about the packaging layout for this wave and how they had to kind of turn Powergirl like this to pack her because they didn't want her cleavage showing. So that's kind of funny. As much crap as I give Scott Knightlick, I gotta commend him for his work on the DC Classics line, because without him, we wouldn't have this awesome line to talk about. But yeah, Powergirl. Looks like Powergirl has her white kind of shirt onesie thing going on here, a belt, her cape, which is nicely sculpted. I would have preferred if this wasn't so windswept. Maybe it was sitting down straight. But it does have that little band that goes around her shoulder here. Be careful, you don't want to tear that, moving the arm around. She's got her blue gloves, her blue boots, her hot legs, as the band Great White likes to say. They must be hot, because why isn't she wearing any pants, right? And then she's got her Karen haircut. She was rocking the Karen do before that was a thing. So there you go. Good old Powergirl throwing off the white balance like you would not believe. Like, I can barely see this figure right now on my iPad. So thanks for that. But yeah, Powergirl looks like Powergirl. Pretty solid figure of Powergirl. But as far as articulation goes, her head can look side to side. You can hear that little click there. She does not appear to have any upward movement, but you can kind of... Nah, you can't really even do that. So that's going to limit what posing you can do with her. She can't really get into a good flight pose, which is unfortunate. But what are you going to do? She has a waist swivel. It works okay. Shoulders go out to the side, back down, forward and back. Bicep swivel. Be careful with these. If they are stuck, don't even waste your time. I have a cheetah, the modern cheetah from, is it Wave 13, the Trigon wave? Her left bicep is stuck. I've gone to turn it several times, and all it does is twist the peg. So you do not want to screw with these if they are not moving. Just leave them alone and deal with it. If that's, if I had one problem with the DC Classics line, is that the females have very fragile bicep swivels. Would have much preferred they went with a hinge swivel in the elbow. She does have a hinge in the elbow, though. It does work. She has a swivel in the wrist. Her hips can kick forward, back, out to the side pretty well. She's got her own version of the gaping crotch pits. Look at that. Sexy! She's got a thigh cut, single joint at the knee, which is actually pretty tight on this figure. Almost has a detent to it. And then she has something we haven't seen before, a boot swivel. Something I wish the Beast Boy figure had to kind of straighten his feet out. And she has a hinge in the foot with a little teeny rocker and peg holes at the bottom of the feet. For the stand she does not come with, but you're in luck, because good old Mattel made stands for these guys. You can buy them in like packs of 20. I don't know what those go for now on eBay, but they exist. Standing her up here. She is a little top-heavy because of her cape, but that's to be expected. Yeah, I can barely see the top of my camera. Hopefully she's centered enough here. So yeah, if you wanted a Powergirl figure, this is the one to get. It is fairly inexpensive too. I think she's only like 20-30 bucks, maybe less loose. Yeah, that's carded price. She might be a little bit higher carded nowadays, but she was in Injustice 2, so that might have renewed some interest in the character. But at any rate, with that being said, let's now move on and take a look at some size comparisons. First up here is Powergirl next to a couple other female characters from the DC Universe Classics line, Wonder Woman and Hawkgirl. Next up, and for those of you keeping track, here she is next to the other figures I've already taken a look at from this wave, Beast Boy, Joker, and Man-Bat. And last but certainly not least, here she is next to our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus, the 11 Spawn, who as usual towers over everyone. So with that being said, time to wrap things up, some final thoughts. Overall, and while I know that a lot of people are quite fond of Powergirl here, it's kind of unfortunate that her figure leaves a bit much to be desired. If you want her for a spot filler, she's perfectly serviceable for that. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you wanted a really awesome superposable Powergirl figure, this unfortunately isn't it. She is very hindered due to the sculpt of her cape and really the density of her cape. And while she does have a little bit more articulation than the standard DC Universe Classics figure, it's a little bit limited as far as the range goes, and there's not a whole lot you can do with it. So unfortunately, this was the pose I could come up with for this review. You may be able to pose her up a little bit better than I, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm a bit disappointed I can't have her propped up on a McFarlane flight stand doing kind of a power punch pose, kind of looking up into the air and whatnot. You know, like a Superman, Supergirl type character should. But again, if you want a really nice Powergirl figure and articulation doesn't really matter to you, then this is an easy pickup. And I say easy because, again, I don't think she's that expensive on the secondary market. So she should be relatively easy to come by and pretty affordable as far as I'm concerned. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's edition of Flashback Fridays. If you are so inclined, please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one. If you haven't already, please hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions. But as always, keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.